It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Folks, I want to do some breaking news. Every once in a while, you got to recap the news that's been going on in our industry. Otherwise, people forget about stuff or they might miss an important story. And so I thought today on this Wednesday, I would share some of the news that I've heard over the last couple of weeks. Now, keep in mind, some of this news could have came from the rumor mill. There is a news rumor mill out there. And there's also the industry news. And in all reality, sometimes, these stories kind of get mixed up. But anyway, let's talk about some of these stories. The first story is Lexmark's getting into the solar panel business. I read this and I'm thinking to myself, this is fantastic. You got ACDI over there with the electrical vehicle charging stations. And now Lexmark with solar panels. Our industry could literally corner the alternative energy marketplace. We could corner the market with this stuff. We're positioned perfectly to go out there and be alternative energy providers, aren't we? I think we are. Sure we are. Folks, but then I started reading the article a little bit more. I was getting excited there for a minute. I thought we had a whole new deliverable. Hell with IT, let's sell alternative energy sources. But then I started reading the article and I realized, no, they're putting them on their factories. Well, excuse me, not their factories because they don't make anything in Lexington. They're putting them on the office buildings there, to help with energy costs. So I guess that makes some sense. The other big news, Konica Minolta. I hear they're changing the name of the Workplace Hub to the Home Place Hub. Apparently, nobody's going back to the office to work. They're all going home. Konica said, we got this machine. It's called a Workplace Hub. Let's call it the Home Place Hub and put it in people's houses. I'm not sure what it's going to do in the people's houses, but then if you ask people around the world, they don't even know what the Workplace Hub does in the people's offices. So I guess it'll be the same deliverable. No one will know what it does. But folks, here's something interesting. Our friends over at Sharp, they kicked off a whole bunch of A3 copy machines. Amazing stuff. And I'm convinced that Mike, the president of Sharp here in America, he was at that BTA meeting in Orlando. And Wes McCarter was giving a presentation. Wes McCarter, the owner of NextEra, he's got all the data on like 5 million machines, right? And he was telling the whole audience how there was more A4s in the database than A3s. More A4s than A3s. I think Mike heard that and said, we got to get more A3s. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but we'll see what happens. How about our friends over there at Kyocera? Kyocera you saw that big machine they came out with, a couple years ago? Folks, this thing's big, giant, big machine. And it's color, it's based on ink, it's for production. And boy, it's getting a lot of news lately. Ricoh's selling that thing. I'm sure there's going to be like an hour special with Frank Cannata, because Frank Cannata loves those big machines. But folks, I'm hearing some good things about that, and I hear it's got a really good price point. I mean, and we all know that production color, for the most part, is way oversold equipment. I mean, people are putting these $100,000 machines in locations where people only run a couple 100,000 pages a month. So this Kyocera machine, it's probably got a pretty interesting future. We'll see where that goes. But ladies and gentlemen, let me follow up with this last story because this is a doozy. So we all been reading the articles how all these millennials that we've been putting swing sets in the office for and ping pong tables and coffee shops on the first floor and all the stuff we've been doing for all these people because we thought we had to make them happy. And if they weren't happy, they wouldn't be good employees. And then finally, these employees told us, well, you stick doing this stupid crap. Just hire people that will take care of our customers. We don't need all these toys and stuff in the office. And so this is just speculative rumor out there, but I hear Great America has put a program together because they had a lot of this stuff in their corporate office, and they put a program together to lease all this stuff that companies want to get rid of, and they're going to lease it to like playgrounds and municipalities and some elementary schools and stuff like that. I mean, if the business world doesn't need all these toys and stupidity that people have been buying over the last 10 years, then Great America's got a place for them. They're gonna finance this, get it out of your offices. So I'd love if someone could verify that in the comments. That'd be fantastic because I think there's something there. And I mean, if you think about it from Great America's perspective, there's not a whole lot of copiers to be leased. I mean, we can't even get them, right? Supply, demand kind of thing. So if they can't lease the copiers, maybe leasing all this crap that people have been buying to put in the office could make sense for the next couple of years. Ladies and gentlemen, these are some interesting rumors that I'm hearing. Interesting news stories. We got to follow up with the news, but you got to make sure you read the whole article sometimes, because if you don't read the whole article, you might get excited about something that's not really panning out to be true. Just some things to think about, my friends, because we all know this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you all tomorrow.